The morning after our wedding, one envelope changed everything. I didn't know a marriage could feel like a celebration one day, and a quiet emergency the next. The morning after our wedding, I stood in our kitchen surrounded by gift bags. My husband, John, stood at the counter staring at his phone. He refreshed his banking app over and over, like the numbers might change if he believed hard enough. His shoulders were raised. He looked up at me and smiled. Not a real smile. The kind people use when they're trying to look okay while the ground is moving under them. So I walked to the drawer, pulled out an envelope, and placed it on the table between us. John froze, because the truth is, I didn't start saving because I love money. I started because I remember what it feels like to be poor, and pretend you're not. Let me say this clearly. I loved our wedding. It wasn't extravagant. We didn't go viral. We kept it modest. But modest doesn't mean cheap. It comes with deposits, alterations, and all those small upgrades that feel harmless one at a time. Every time someone asked, "Are you sure?" we said the most dangerous sentence couples say right before debt. It's only once. After the wedding, we came home glowing. But the next morning, the glow met the math. Rent didn't care about our vows. People assume savers don't feel fear, but we do. We just feel it early and prepare quietly. 2 days later, we went grocery shopping for the first time as husband and wife. I remember thinking, this is adult life. But nothing felt normal when we started filling the cart. Eggs felt expensive. Chicken felt like a debate. Even rice had gone up. John pushed the cart confidently, making jokes. That's what he does when pressure hits. He turns on charm, but his shoulders stayed tight. At the checkout, he tapped. The machine beeped. I saw it in his eyes before the sound finished. Declined. He laughed and tapped again. Declined. John's ears turned red. His jaw tightened. His smile stayed frozen. That moment wasn't about money. It was about being seen. In the car, he gripped the steering wheel too tightly. That silence had a sound. It sounded like shame. And shame comes from feeling exposed. That night, John came home with a small box. He tried to act casual, but his posture was stiff. It was a smartwatch, new, shiny, unnecessary. He didn't say anything, but his body said, "Please don't make me feel small." It wasn't a purchase, it was a reaction. I said something that changed our marriage. Poverty isn't shameful, but pretending is expensive. John sat down slowly. His eyes got glassy. Because that sentence wasn't about the watch. It was about the lie we tell ourselves when money feels uncomfortable. That same week, the world stopped being background noise. News talked about trade barriers and rising costs. Markets dropped fast. Groceries got more expensive. And John's job started changing. He checked emails longer, came home quieter, sat on the couch staring into nothing. When the market crashes, it walks into your kitchen. That's when I realized, when the world becomes unstable, people without systems panic. People with systems still feel fear, but fear doesn't drive the car. I introduced the framework that saved our home. I drew 4 buckets: survival for rent and food, stability for debt, future for growth, and sanity for limited fun. 2 weeks later, John came home holding his work badge. He didn't speak. He placed it on the table. Shame tells you that you are broken. Systems remind you that you are capable. John got invited out. He stared at his phone, asking if he still belonged. I told him, "You don't have to perform anymore. Choosing discipline over image is where wealth begins. We don't need perfect. We need prepared. Our way isn't just about money, it's about freedom from fear." Ready to build your own system. Months passed. Inflation stayed high. The prices didn't go back to normal. Groceries still felt like a test every time we walked into a store. Gas still made you pause before filling up. Rent still had that quiet way of reminding you it's due whether you had a good week or not. But something in our home changed. Not the world, not the economy, us. We stopped hiding. And I don't just mean hiding receipts or avoiding bank apps. I mean hiding emotions, hiding fear, hiding shame. We stopped pretending we were fine when we weren't. Because pretending costs more than people realize. It costs peace. It costs trust. It costs the kind of sleep that makes you feel like a real person again. In the beginning, I watched John's body language shift before his life did. At first, his stress was loud, but after we built our system, I started noticing different signs. He still felt pressure, but he didn't spiral. He started doing something small but powerful. He started pausing. That pause is discipline. That pause is maturity. That pause is the moment you choose the future over the feeling. We kept our weekly money meetings, 30 minutes, no blame, no sarcasm. Just numbers, honesty, and decisions. At first, those meetings felt awkward, like we were supposed to be carefree. But I learned a truth. The couples who look carefree are sometimes just ignoring the fire until it reaches the curtains. We decided not to live like that. We began treating our budget like a map, not a punishment. It felt like clarity. We started cooking more at home, not because we were boring, but because we wanted control. We shopped with a list. We learned which stores had better prices. We stopped buying random extras. I used to think budgeting meant cutting joy. I was wrong. Budgeting doesn't kill joy, it protects it. We kept the sanity bucket. We gave ourselves permission for small joys, an affordable date night, a walk with coffee. John's biggest shift wasn't even the money, it was his pride. Pride made him want to look okay. Then life humbled us, and our system helped us heal. The first time John said no, I watched him breathe differently. It wasn't the relief of having money, it was the relief of being honest. That's what discipline does. We paid down debt slowly at first, then faster. We stopped leaking money. We canceled subscriptions. Confidence rose. Not the fake confidence of I look rich. Real confidence, the kind that says, I can handle life. Then one night we were eating pasta on the floor. The room was quiet. No chaos. No arguing. John sat across from me. He looked present, like he wasn't carrying a secret war in his chest. We weren't rich, but we were okay. And okay felt like luxury. The silence used to be heavy. Now it felt light. That's when the sentence came out. Peace is the best luxury. I meant it. Peace is checking your account without your heart racing. Peace is not needing to prove anything. That peace didn't come from a raise. It came from habits, from structure, from humility. And that brings me to you. If you're young, start now, not when you make more. Now. A wedding is one day. Finances are a lifetime. Inflation punishes people without plans. Emergency funds buy time. Tonight, take 20 minutes. List your survival costs. List your debts. Start an emergency fund. The moment you stop performing wealth is the moment you start building it. Subscribe to Infinite Wealth Gain. One video, one habit, one decision at a time. We build.